I've gone through at least 6 different careers, all in the arts. It starts really shittily, if that's a word. I should know this because I've been writing. When I was a kid, I was abused from day one.
Oh, no.
And then it was weird because I hit 11 years old and I started getting beatings for painting, just painting by itself.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Dark Art Society podcast. I'm your host, Chet, and today we are having part one of a two-part episode with legendary tattoo artist, multidisciplinary artist, Johnny Thief. So that's coming up. Really interesting person to talk to and a great artist. So that's coming soon in a few minutes. I just finished up my holiday orders, so that's kind of a relief. I'm working on a commission of a cabin right here that's almost done. I've got to do a skull flower painting for the LA Art Show in like 2 weeks, so I got to really crank on that. Finishing up some commission stuff and other commission stuff. And that's about what's going on in my world. If you want to support the podcast, you can go to patreon.com/darkartsociety and join for as little as $1. You could also join on YouTube. We have YouTube memberships open. You get the podcast a day early, sometimes 2 days early. There's all kinds of benefits depending on what level you join at. And but really, it's just mainly to support so that I can afford to make this podcast if you find it valuable. Also, you get your name read on the podcast, and if you join at one of the paid levels. And this week we have Mike Kirby. Thank you so much, Mike Kirby. Appreciate your support. You make it happen. If you want to see what I'm up to, you can go to patreon.com/ChetZar and also join for as little as $1, where I'm posting all of my progress shots and time lapses and tutorials and all kinds of stuff. Please like and share this video, especially on YouTube. Please hit the like button, subscribe, share the video. We are a, kind of a grassroots thing happening. So, okay, I think that's everything. If you join if you join YouTube membership or the $5 membership, fucking hell. I'm rushing to get this intro done because I have a mentorship thing I do in like 5 minutes. If you join at the $5 level on Patreon, you get a 30% discount from Skull Shop, which is our sponsor, SkullShoppe.com. And I am using one of their skulls for this next skull flower painting too. And if you join at the comparable level on the YouTube memberships, you still get the 30% discount code from Skull Shop, SkullShoppe.com. Okay, let's get on with it. This is a really fun, interesting interview. And here we go. Johnny Thief. Hope you like it. Hi, Johnny.
Good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm pretty good, considering all the craziness of the world.
Yeah, we're all going through it.
Yeah.
When was the last time I saw you in person? I don't even remember because
I was thinking about that. Where did we meet the first time? Was it Hell City, maybe?
It had to be at a convention, but I'm not sure which one because I'm really bad with chronology. The way my chronology has to be landmarked. Mm-hmm. Like if there's a disaster, like I know that I haven't spoken to my father since 1992 because it was Hurricane Andrew.
Okay.
Which I was ground zero for in South Florida. I couldn't tell you when I got married, but I know that my divorce happened in 2000 because then it was the millennium and Y2K.
Right. Yeah, I admire people that say like, "Oh yeah, we did that in October of 1994." I'm like, "How do you remember
I
a
don't admire
month?"
that. That's a sickness. That's wrong, man.
I'm
Those
just
are
so
math people, and a pops on the math people.
I just like, man, I wish I could remember a week ago what day it was, and it's like so bad. I don't know what the hell is the problem.
But it's been super fun all this time watching your career and what you've been doing, and I've been a
thanks.
devoted fan this whole time. And
I appreciate it.
righteous, man.
I appreciate it. Yeah, maybe we met at that what was that convention that John did? It was in
the visionary one. And
yeah. Were you at that one?
We might have hung there. I know we got to actually talk a decent amount at Hell City in Phoenix.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't remember which year that was because we did that a lot.
Yeah. I don't remember either. But anyway, yeah, it's great. It's been great watching you. I can't believe like you sent me some images for to put on the cover and the YouTube thumbnail and the Instagram, and it was so I was so impressed with the different styles you do.
Yeah,
it was kind of crazy that you can go like from this cartoony to super realistic to stylized. It's really impressive. You're kind of like and you're painting and stuff. It's like you're very much a Renaissance man, kind of.
I wouldn't go that far. I would go more towards I get bored easy, so it's like I never wanted to be like a one-hit wonder. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, if people are specializing, I mean, actually, career-wise, I think the specialists have done so much better than I have because I've spread myself so thin. I've tried to do it all, so it's like I've done everything competently and professionally and made money at it. But I'm not Coop, who's an old school fan who's been Coop this whole time.
Yeah.
Or any of the tattoo artists who've only tattooed and don't know about computers or painting or printing or 100 other things that I used to do. But on the other hand, I can't imagine, even if it was cool, not sure if I could have done that for 40 years at this point. I also can't believe I'm saying 40 years. Like, that's not a number that should be in my vocabulary. Like,
I know, it's so crazy.
I feel like I've been doing it for maybe 5.
I know.
It's like
I know. Fuck, getting old is so weird.
It's also weird career-wise because when you start jumping in late, you're always playing catch-up to all your peers. Like, I didn't start tattooing until I was 30. So
wow, really?
Had at least 15 years on me.
Yeah.
I always feel like I'm chasing their tails. Getting published. I didn't get my first story published till 2019. So of course, like you're ready looking at 50, and you got kids who have sold novels in their young 20s. So it's like, boy, am I chasing their fucking tails, And it's like, so that's always frustrating because, like, in addition to imposter syndrome, you feel like you're playing catch up for a long time. And on the other hand, like, I like my resume. Like, I like the idea that, I mean, I started as a teenager. I was on stage painting sets, and then they threw me on stage. So it's like, I'm the only tattoo artist on the planet that could do West Side Story on command without any rehearsals. I've printed on every object that could fucking make a print. Which is why when I met Jeff Wood, he was so impressed. Like, he hired me as an illustrator, but when he toured the plant with me and I was just rattling off the specs of everything that was on the floor, he was looking at me. He's like, "Oh shit, you really know what you're doing." And he hired me as an art director because I could interface with production, and in a worst case scenario, I could have gone down to the floor and actually ran the run.
Wow. Yeah, that is impressive because usually there's so much especially when it comes to printing. It's like, rich black and all that. It's where you have to get the CMYK, and it's like if you don't do the rich black numbers correctly, it'll turn out gray. I learned that the hard way until I finally figured it out. But there's so much technical stuff when it comes to printing. It's easier than it's ever been in a way, but still, there's a lot of technical stuff you have to know.
Yeah, I'd be shocked. Like anytime I ordered T-shirts in this modern time, normally I would actually do all the separations myself. I'm old enough, so we would have hand cut those separations and shot them in darkrooms, like with Rubylith. Like, I'm very old that way. Now it's like, no, you send them a color file, it all goes digitally. They burn the screens digitally, which I don't know how that works. Like you print a screen. I still haven't seen that in real life. It's way out of my league. Like, wow, can't believe you've taken it that far for t-shirts, you know?
Yeah.
I went to the Kubert School. I don't know if you know what that is. That's the Joe Kubert School of Cartoon and Graphic Arts Incorporated. Oh, you're not into comics. I remember seeing some of your podcast and like you were kind of lost with comics. Joe Kubert was one of the old school masters from the old Silver Age of comics. He's the guy who invented Sergeant Rock for DC Comics. He's considered to be something of a legend and worked with all the legendary people. And he opened up a trade school for comic book illustration and animation.
Damn, that sounds amazing.
Well, it's really amazing because not only did he do that, not only at the time, the walls were stocked with original comic pages from back in the old days. Like before there were comic books, they were in the Sunday Funnies. And in order to print like Prince Valiant or Little Nemo and Slumberland, the artwork had to be 3 times the size of a newspaper.
No way.
So the artwork is like this tall. And he had originals lining it like a museum on the inside of the hallways.
That's so
cool. And it was
cool.
mind-blowing. But what was really cool was he didn't just want it to be a bunch of teachers who couldn't teach. Everyone who worked at the school was currently working in the industry.
Wow.
They'd only teach for a day or two and then go do comics or movies or animation or whatever they were doing. So you were working with these legends. And it was a trade school, so you had to keep your grades up. There wasn't any artsy-fartsy bullshit. They wanted you to deadline, and they wanted to teach you how to work and make money. So it was like boot camp for art.
How long did this school last? I'd never heard of it before.
It's still going. I mean, they just closed the old location. The old location was in the Dover High School, which is a weird setup. Because it was one of those old buildings. So they just moved it and they modernized because now everybody's on tablets and, you know, nobody's working on a stat camera or, you know, speaking type or doing letraset or zipatone. Terms that like kids are probably going, what is this thing working? What the hell is he talking about? What the fuck is a zipatone?
I remember when my dad died a few years back, he had one of those, I don't know what they're called, but they're like an enlarging machine. It was like a light table. It was like
it might just be an enlarger.
Yeah, maybe it's just an enlarger, but you put the paper down the bottom and you kind of move these pulleys and it shrunk or enlarged the image and you trace it with tracing paper, and it was just like we had to just put it out on the side of the road. It's like, what do you it's like, I don't have any space for this.
Yeah,
nobody has any space.
Museum,
it's like, yeah, I know. And it's like,
it's funny. The last time I was at the Kubert School, because my shop was in New Jersey for 15 years, so I would drive by it semi-regularly, and they had an art store there. So sometimes I'd pop in just to say hello or look around or get nostalgic. And they still had one of the old animation cameras. When I was there, animation camera was a huge fucking device. And it was in a huge room because, as I'm sure you know, because you were actually in real movies, some of those backgrounds could be up to 50, 60 feet long.
Oh, yeah.
Just move the background just a fraction of an inch to make it look like planes were going by mountain range or something like that. At the time, in 88, there was only about 8 of those cameras in the country. So because of that, film studios used to send us their finished artwork and we would do the filming. So that was cool because we were shooting G.I. Joe and Transformers and shit.
Oh, wow.
You know, all the artwork was done. You just had to grunt it, you know, and be perfectly clean, and the lights had to be perfect, and you were running off the timing sheets, and it took fucking forever. And when you were done, you had a second of work done.
Right.
But it was cool to go through. I love that I got to do a lot of those principles, you know, those old school principles of the groundwork. Like, I can't imagine what it's like being a kid today coming up in a digital world and not knowing why Photoshop tools are Photoshop tools.
Right. Yeah.
Like, they don't know what dodge and burn is because they've never been in a darkroom. They don't know what dot gain is. They don't know half of the principles that we were doing in real life and took us a week to do that they're doing with a click of a button. They don't have an appreciation for it or why you would do it.
Yeah.
So they're just doing it randomly, and they don't know why the effects they're getting are the effects, or why it would be important on this press as opposed to that press.
Right.
And I hate that that's all getting sort of lost. I feel like they're cheating themselves out of a lot.
Yeah, I mean that's certainly the case with AI as well. It's like to me all that shit was the fun part.
Yeah,
to me,
absolutely.
Like making it, figuring out how to do it, and then like mastering it, and just that's what always spurred me to do it. It's not like so much I want this painting or I want this print. It's like I want to make the print. Once it's done, it's like that's cool, but the fun part was making it. And it's like with
hell, I feel that way about every year. Everyone gets more and more nuts about Halloween, but Halloween looks worse and worse because everyone's going to Michael's and buying their fucking shit. And I'm like, why? Why would you cheat yourself out of the? I mean, half the fun is making a costume or decorating your own yard or building a thing.
Making stuffing a dummy.
Are you kidding me? You're cheating yourself out of the best part.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it's like paying someone to come in and fuck your wife or something like that. You're missing the best part. It's like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah, that's a good analogy for AI for sure.
AI, I have problems with AI even before we talk about AI itself. Like I have problems with how much technology we have and how little we're utilizing it at all.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Kind of sort of going back to what we were saying before we started about like, how the hell is it 1985 and I'm still getting the same gas mileage I got in high school?
Right.
Or it's 2025 and I'm getting the same gas mileage as 1985. We have these incredible supercomputers like that blow away what the Apollo mission had. And yet all we're doing is like fucking looking at cat videos and taking pictures of our dicks. And that's it. Like we should be solving world hunger with this. We should have like incredible intercommunication. We have all this technology and everyone is stupider than ever. Like, so it's like when people start talking about, AI, and it's like AI, we haven't fucking figured out how to fucking use phones properly or information properly. Like we have technology that's 20, 30, 40 years old that we've barely tapped into. And it's like, and now you're just pushing through AI because some tech bros need to get their fucking investments back.
Yeah.
Like that's not even talking about the product itself.
Yeah.
And I have all those problems before we even get there. Well, it's like, we should have a goal before the product. And that shouldn't be like, we invented this thing and now let's figure out how to make it work so we can make money off of it.
Yeah, that's exactly, it's totally ass backwards.
Yeah, of course. And they're doing it because they don't have any ironically, because they don't have any creativity, just the way these politicians don't have any creativity. We keep going back to fucking shit we settled 30, 40, 50 years ago and drudging it up because it's easier than working or balancing a budget.
Right.
It really bothers me because like, not to harp on the whole when we were kids thing, but when we were kids, like this should be Blade Runner times. And, and it's like, I don't have a flying car. I don't have a robot Daryl Hannah. I don't even have a fucking nice owl, man. Like I got shit. Roads are fucking busted. The infrastructure goes out. If fucking the wind blows too hard, like, come on.
Yeah.
Everyone's dying into the same diseases. Like, did we do anything in 20 years, 25 years? Like these fucking flat decades of little to no progress.
It's de-evolution. De-evolution is real.
Yeah, it really is. Okay, so we should switch gears.
I want to talk about. I just want to know. I want to hear your story, your artist origin story.
Okay,
because I don't know your artist origin story.
I kind of want to blow through it quickly because otherwise we'll be here forever. Because again, I've gone through at least 6 different careers, all in the arts. It starts really. Shittily, if that's a word. I should know this because I've been writing. When I was a kid, I was abused from day one.
Oh, no.
And then it was weird because I hit 11 years old and I started getting beatings for painting, just painting by itself. One of my aunts bought me like a Ron Gagne oil painting kit set for Christmas. Ron Gagne was like a Bob Ross type of guy. Mm-hmm. And art supplies came in those little gift kits that you would give to your nephews.
Yeah.
So I painted an oil painting in my bedroom at 11. little still life. And my mother saw that and beat me from one end of the house to the other because I might have spilled paint on the carpet. I know you're gaping at this because you had that amazing father of yours,
yeah,
a talented motherfucking dad,
yeah,
to guide you through the thing. And it was so funny because and I still talk about this to this day because her argument of why I value this over my son was I could have ruined the carpet. And the carpet, I lived in the basement of the house. The carpet was this old 70s rug that had been in a flood and should have been destroyed anyway. And it was electric blue, antifreeze green, and baby shit ochre. So if I had spilled paint on it, who the fuck could have told? Are you kidding me? So this started the whole thing of me taking my abuse to this weird level of now it's connected with art.
Yeah.
And it's like, wait, aren't you the one who told me I could be anything I wanted? And it's like, no, not that. And then I started to work at the theater, which was cool because I showed up just to paint. This place was amazing. It's still there in New Jersey. It's shaped like a castle and it's on a lake.
Wow.
And they were so close to Broadway that they would work with all kinds of people who weren't working on Broadway because they only have a 2% employment rate for actors. Like you think we have it hard.
Yeah.
Wow, actors, really difficult fucking profession. So we would draw on this incredible talent who'd come from all over the country to make it big on Broadway. So that place was this little gem in the middle of nowhere in New Jersey in the woods. And the people who founded it were also these mad geniuses. So it was an incredible place to live and work and grow up and be nurtured in. But I would come home and my stepfather immediately thought that meant I was gay. And again, would fucking knock the living shit out of me every single fucking time. There were times I'd be kicked out of the house and I'd be sleeping in the local park. And then I would just catch a bus on the bus route and go to fucking school and then go back to the theater and paint all day.
Wow.
And this went on for 4 straight years and about 10 shows a year. So about 40 shows of full-blown productions for that entire time before I even graduated. But it was rough, and I still have a little PTSD from that.
Well, that's kind of was
like if you come anywhere near my face, I'm doing one of these.
Really?
To this day, I could be in bed with fucking the hottest chick, and I'm still doing that.
Wow. Yeah, I was gonna say, how did you not go crazy?
I don't know. Well, I mean, at the time, I was mad suicidal.
Oh.
I wasn't going to do drugs, but my parents did drugs. So after the, I don't know, 10th time I'm sleeping on a park bench.
Jeez.
I was like, if I'm going to take a fucking beating for this shit, I might as well have a good time. So I started stealing their drugs, and that led to better drugs. And boy, did we have drugs. And I wasn't using to explore. I wasn't using to open up my third eye. I wasn't Alex Graying any of this shit. Terrence McKennaing it. I was trying to check out. I was hoping to do a lethal dose and not wake up.
Wow.
And that didn't happen. Spoiler alert. It was funny because I hit the wall after I got out of Kubert school. It's like things just seemed like I couldn't do it anymore. And I drove across the country. I moved to Florida. Well, I didn't move. I went to Florida to try to kill myself. And then I was like, wow, big country. Big area. And now I'm away from the problem. Like maybe I should roll the dice and see what happens. So I didn't kill myself. And that's when I ended up in Florida. That's when I started to do printing because you could screen print in Florida rather easily. Sweatshopping, literally sweatshopping.
Why is that? Why were you able to easily print in Florida?
All my Kubert school stuff, like all that translated into darkroom operations, and I was already drawing and stuff like that. So get into a screen print plant and start pulling squeegees and start doing all the color separations and the designs and stuff like that. So that's what I was primarily doing in Florida.
And then did you stop using at that point? Oh
yeah. Once it was weird because I didn't have to get clean because I wasn't an addict per se.
Oh, wow.
I wanted to die. So once I stopped wanting to die, drugs went away.
Wow.
Alcohol went away to the point where like anyone who visited my shop, I had an entire shelf of gifted liquor as tips that was collecting dust. I mean, I had some bottles that I moved with.
Wow.
That's how under control I've got the drinking, but
that's amazing.
Can go out and crack a bottle of wine for dinner. Not a problem.
That's unusual.
Well, like I said, I wasn't an addict. I was suicidal. what I did was I felt very guilty. This is a sideline that relates to art, though. Feeling that guilty, I felt like I needed to pay back. I felt like, boy, I could have really hurt some fucking people. I wasn't a dealer, but I had sold a little bit. Like maybe I could have killed someone with that fucking shit, you know? So for 7 years, I was Mr. Volunteer. Like I ended up volunteering more than I was working, and I was working a lot. Again, to pay back what I felt like was my debt to society. So in that, because it was the late 80s going into the 90s, straight edge became huge in the hardcore scene. So we started booking straight edge bands and doing fundraisers for local drug rehabs. This was in Fort Lauderdale, and then after the hurricane in St. Pete. So I dropped flyers. We'd paste flyers all night. I would do punk rock fanzines. The punk rock fanzine is where I get my silly name, Johnny Thief, from.
Okay.
The fanzine is called Thieves and Prostitutes because that's who we were reaching out to on the streets and trying to get everyone clean and give them new hope for a new life that didn't involve fucking heroin and dying and shit like that.
Well, okay, wait a minute. I got to interrupt you. How did you? I'm not going into your childhood, but how did you have this such a strong moral center and like a sense of, because a lot of people go through don't know. Abuse and they're just mean. It makes them mean. It's like, you seem kind of like the opposite of
there's plenty of people who don't go through abuse and are just mean.
That's a good point.
Later on, no, seriously, later on, when I read the graphic novel My Friend Dahmer, did you ever read that?
No.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so after Jeffrey Dahmer got caught, his high school friends were like, oh my God, we went to school with this motherfucker. We hung out with him. So this one guy was in comics, so he wrote a book about like, what was it like going to school with Jeffrey Dahmer? And Jeffrey Dahmer, and also it was funny because his wife called him, his wife worked in the media. So he's like, you're not going to believe who just fucking got arrested for being a cannibal serial killer that you went to school with. And Jeffrey wasn't the first person he guessed. Holy shit.
Wow.
But it was Jeffrey. So they wrote a book about it, and I'm reading about Jeffrey's childhood, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this motherfucker didn't deal with 1/10 of what I did, and I haven't eaten anybody.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's interesting.
I honestly don't know. I could have turned asshole in some pathways in my young childhood. I could have been. My dad was a car thief. He used to boost cars and shit like that.
Wow.
That didn't happen because he never taught me anything. I still don't know how to work on cars. Love cars and bikes and trucks. Don't get me near it with a wrench. I might as well have a 5-pound hammer in my hand. Could have gone into drugs. Could have fucking been a dealer. Could have been any one of those New York types of Ginzo bag runners or whatever the fuck. No, I don't know what it was. I know a lot of it happened at the theater, because not only were we a family, but even just like the text of what we were performing. We were like performing Man of La Manche. So we were learning about chivalry and fucking fighting the good fight, no matter what the odds are, or Shakespeare, or this or that, the other thing. And, all these things are like these great ethics and giving you these moral propositions. And not to mention, you're also working with such a diverse group of people, which included real manly men who were in the military to, of course, tons of gay people and everything in between. And it just defined what a man could be or could not be, and how much of manliness was total bullshit.
What age was this? Were you at this
teenage years? From 15 to 18.
So it was a good time to have gotten a good influence like that.
Yeah, trust me, it's like I dwell on it a lot because I'm still friends with a lot of these people to this day, which is fucking amazing. But B, it also I always ask the question of like, what would it have been like to do that and not fucking taking a beating for it,
Right.
Like, I wonder how much better of an artist I would be if I wasn't fucking jumping or thinking that this is a fight every fucking time, like if I could have just been encouraged.
Right.
And, or even not encouraged, like I would have been happy with ignored.
Right.
Like if you just left me alone, how much better would I have been?
Yeah.
I have no idea. It's one of those questions you can never answer.
Yeah. Wow.
But it bothers me. And it haunts me because there was never a resolution, and it haunts me because there was never any justice. It's not like anybody went to jail. Right. It's not like anybody got called out. And I haven't been in touch with the family because in their own ways, I mean, they can't hit me anymore because I'm too big for that. But they try in other ways. And I'm like, man, I can't, I'm sorry. I don't have, life is too short to sit here and take your shit.
Yeah.
If you ever stop this, give me a call.
Right.
But as long as I'm something that you're just going to fucking use as a soccer ball, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Go do that to somebody else or stop doing that.
Right.
I don't know.
Wow. It's very impressive. It's very impressive to see that you went through all that and not only became a great artist, but became a great, successful artist that, everything you've done all these different careers. It's just, I don't know, it's a trip. It's just like, we never know why some people, just like, the Dahmer thing. Why?
The volunteer thing was another education thing. Like every time when people go to volunteer, they always think, I'm going to go help people. I'm going to change the world. And it's like, no, man, the paradox is like you end up taking away so much more than you take what you fucking put into it. Mm-hmm. Like you will learn so much from people. I can't tell you the wisdom I picked up while I was in prison doing prison counseling.
Wow. I bet.
Feeding hungry people, of course, detoxing people. Although that's never fun. That's always a nightmare.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the music scene. Like, it was so great to have an independent music scene back then and just be the scene, build the scene, put on the shows, load in all the equipment, be a part of that. Again, that's got to be a thing that kids are totally missing out on.
I know.
And I know they're missing out because I would talk to my clients about that. I'm like, where's your music, man?
Yeah.
In the 80s, we had so many genres. You needed a scorecard just to keep up with everything that was being produced and all the shit we were throwing at the walls to see if it would stick. Like, where's your voice? Where's your teeth? And the kids just scroll through their phones and just look at me like I've got 5 heads. Like, you didn't do any of that fucking shit. And I'm like, really, man? And it's weird because I think that there's a part of it is they're buying into the lie that brands and all of this corporate bullshit is right and correct. Mm-hmm. Like they believe it, which is why it's like you see so many kids who are like turning into their parents before you haven't rebelled against them yet. So you're turning into these fucking right-wing hate mongers, and you're not even fucking 18 yet. Like, are you kidding? Like, you're supposed to be rebelling against this shit.
Yeah. Right.
But I also think that like if I told my clients like you should start a band. You don't even have to be good. The Germs weren't good. They fucking went on stage without a single rehearsal. And that was kind of the point, was like to be as bad as they could be at first. I think that they won't do it because they don't give a fuck about the audience. I don't think they care enough about other people to engage that way. Because that's the vibes that they would give to me about that. Like, oh, why would I perform for somebody else?
Yeah.
Why would I do that for somebody else? What's in it for me? And I'm like, really? I have to explain that? We've been doing music since prehistoric times.
Right. It's, what I think there's another aspect to it, perhaps, that putting yourself in a vulnerable position is like not cool anymore. Like to put yourself up in front of a crowd of people and then maybe not do great and be embarrassed because everyone's all about like not looking cringe and don't be vulnerable.
Because forget about performing. They won't do that for even far less confrontation than that. Like they're scared of a drive-through window now. That's too much anxiety for them to talk to the man. Ordering a pizza on the phone with their voice. Too much confrontation. They don't want to talk to the man. And I'm saying this as 25-year-old clients would say that while they're getting tattooed with mommy holding their hand. And they'd be like, Ma, could you make the call? Because I don't want to talk to them. I'm like, you're 25. My 25-year-old friends that I went to high school with should be graduating school with a master's at your age or coming back from a war. Like, and you don't want to order a pizza. Holy shit. Which, of course, again, this leads into a longer conversation of this is why the right wing is so powerful now, is because so few people are fighting them. Everyone has been living under fear since 9/11. It's the only thing that we make. And now people are scared to step to the fucking Nazis.
Yeah.
Which is ironic, is just like with volunteering, you will find that if you step to the Nazis, 99% times they will back down completely because they are as cowardly, frightened little people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There will be that one time you go up against Mongo. And Mongo will just fucking lay you out because he's just got nothing up there. He's like, Mongo, like,
yeah, right.
and that'll be it. Man, but sometimes you got to take a licking for the cause, man.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, yeah. It's funny because when I was a kid, I was like that. Like as far as not wanting to talk to people on the phone, like super, super shy, and really like a coward when it came to fighting. Like I didn't want to get my ass kicked. Really, really bad. And it's like I had some opportunities that, looking back, I always think, man, I wish I would have just took the beating and got my ass kicked. I would feel so much better about myself than like running away from that. You know, it didn't happen that often. It's not like I grew up in some horrible neighborhood or anything, but enough to where it really is bad for your self-esteem to kind of back down from a fight when you're threatened. You know, it's like that's one. I am kind of you know, my wife is kind of she's pretty tough, and she taught our son, like, you have to, you know, if someone is going to kick your ass, you need to fight back. And I think because of her influence, he's been in some fights, and I I just know it's important, even if you get your ass kicked.
Well,
it's important
that's a totally different
yourself.
context, because I grew up as an Italian in Brooklyn, in New York City in the 70s. So
yeah,
fighting was just known to me. Wasn't cool, and I wasn't good at it. I was a book nerd. I wasn't fucking a tough guy by any stretch of the imagination. The weird part, though, is that as bad as it was out in the streets, and I mean, I'd been stabbed. I could show you scars that I still have. I was almost raped twice.
Oh my God.
The ironic part is the reason that I fought off the rapist was because I was, as I'm sitting there against a fence crying my fucking eyes out and wondering, do I just go along with this or do I fight back? I was looking at the 15-year-old trying to do it and thinking, this motherfucker can't possibly hit me as hard as my mother hits me.
Wow.
Because my mother would throw me down 2 flights of stairs just for interrupting her night school homework.
Jeez.
It's like, unless you fucking can grow to about fucking as tall as an adult woman and come at me at the age of fucking 4 or 5, I ain't going to be fucking scared of you. So it's like, it gave me the courage to fight back, which is an irony that drives me nuts.
Wow,
it's like saying abuse gave me the courage to fight. Like,
yeah, that's kind of a mind fuck.
I have a lot of those. My whole life are these weird ironies of like, I don't like this irony, man. Like that's fucked up. Especially like, I don't have kids, but how would I raise a kid? Like, how do you raise a kid to fucking fight back against a rapist without beating the living shit out of them? Like,
yeah,
I know, because I didn't.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that was normal though. Because I was a kid, I just assumed that's the way it was. And it wasn't until I was much older and watching TV and saying, like, they don't do this shit in fucking other families. You know, watching Happy Days and watching Tom Bosley come in with a lead pipe and like, Richie! Like, it'd be a different word. Because, like, you know, I'm like sitting there watching this shit. And it's like, where are the beatings? He really fucked up. He should be in a hospital by now. Like, what the hell, man?
What about the Brady Bunch?
One little dark arts trivia thing. That was in Amityville, technically Copeg, which is out on Long Island. So my grade school is about 2 miles away from the Amityville Horror House.
Oh, wow.
I also saw that movie in the movie theater because even though I was only 5, my divorced father didn't give a fuck, and he took us to all those things.
Wow.
To see all those first release. I saw The Exorcist in the movies. I saw Jaws in the movies. Now, you might think Jaws isn't that scary, but we lived in Amityville.
Yeah.
I thought Amity was Amityville. I thought that was our town. And I was like,
oh, right.
That scared the shit out of me. I didn't sleep for 2 weeks from that movie.
Yeah, it was scary. It was scary when it came out.
Yeah, when it came out, for sure.
What did you think when you saw like the Brady Bunch and the Partridge Family on TV? Because those ones are the biggest contrast.
Yeah. Well, Happy Days bothered me a lot. But what happened was, I think one of the eye openers was then they came out with this show called Welcome Back, Kotter. And actually, my dad's him and his brother and his sister both went to that high school.
Wow.
Yeah, they were called Sweat Hogs.
That was I was just talking to somebody about this the other day. The opening of Welcome Back, Kotter, that's how us in like California thought all New York was like that, and it seemed like the scariest fucking place, like graffiti the impression of
it was like that. It's worse than the show by far. Like, right. You don't understand. I actually forget. But I'm in a forum on Facebook where it's people my age posting shots of New York. Mm-hmm. And you'll see, like, on the West Side Highway, just behind the Trade Center, people basking at lunchtime in Battery Park. And behind them is a wall of tires. And when I say a wall, 2 to 3 times the height of us, and flanking the entire entrance onto the West Side Highway. Just garbage everywhere. Abandoned cars everywhere. My dad lived in Rockaway after my mom kicked him out in Rockaway Beach. Mm-hmm. So there'd be days where we'd get up before he got up. We'd go out to the beach because it was literally across the street from the projects. And there would be an abandoned car on the fucking sand. And as kids, we didn't think anything of it. We didn't think, oh, I wonder who's in the trunk.
Yeah, right.
We're thinking we have a car to play with. And we jump all over the fucking abandoned car, and we're playing on the car. And we're playing with the garbage, and we're playing with all, and it's like there was so much garbage. There was so much crime.
Yeah.
I remember the 44 caliber killer who would turn into David Berkowitz once they caught him. We'd be playing stickball in the street, and you'd hear a bang. And sometimes it might have been a real gun, but it might have just been a motorcycle backfiring, or an M80 in a dumpster, because boy, did we blow shit up a lot too.
Oh, yeah.
But we would stop and we'd be like, it's the 44 caliber killer. And we'd all run and hide under the cars for 10 minutes until we weren't shot, and then we'd keep playing. And we didn't think anything of it. We were just thinking this is how the whole world is.
Yeah.
And it's not you get over a bridge and you realize, oh my God, they've got horses in New Jersey. Like,
right. Yeah, we were terrified of New York. All of my friends in school, we'd always talk about it. I remember seeing like the beginning of Welcome Back, Kotter, and getting this like scared feeling.
Watch horror movies from that time period. Like watch Wolfen. Is it Wolfen?
I don't think I've ever seen Wolfen.
There's one. It's about a New York cop who's hunting down an entire group of werewolves that live in the projects in the Bronx.
Is that the one where they can open doors with their paws, or no?
I can't remember.
Okay.
Although it's weird because I watched it not that long ago, but I was more fast. Or forget about that. Watch Live and Let Die. When Roger Moore as James Bond is being brought outside of the club in Harlem to be executed. Look at the look on Roger's face as he's climbing over the garbage, because that's real. He had no idea that he was in the biggest city in the world, and it was this destitute. Like he's just nauseated. He's literally climbing over rubble. Like the whole fucking 125th Street is just burnt out. And he's just climbing over this rubble for that fucking scene. And he's just disgusted. Like, where the fuck are we, man? Like, this is a city?
So you remember, like, the garbage strikes and all that stuff when New York was going bankrupt?
Very much so. Summer of 77.
Fear City, they called it, right?
Yep. The blackouts, all that fucking shit.
That's crazy.
I mean, I'm looking through it at the eyes of a child.
Yeah.
Like my dad was making fun of me one time because like the subways, the elevated trains would go by, and I would call them circus trains because they were all covered with paint and colors, and I thought it was beautiful. Wow. But that was all fucking, door-to-door graffiti.
Yeah, right. Yeah. The Warriors. That was another one. The Warriors was another one that scared the shit out of us.
Saw that in the movie theater. Again.
Me too.
It's only 10, or 11.
What year were you born?
Late 68. I just actually had my birthday. December 5th. So
happy birthday.
So I just turned 57. Again, a number that seems incalculable, but
I know.
The weird part of, like, if you're going to talk about New York then and now, because everyone would be like, oh, it's so clean and so gentrified and this and that. I would trade old school New York for that now in a heartbeat, because as
That's what people
bad as
say.
it was, as scary as it was, and it was, I'm not saying it wasn't, and as dirty as it was, and it was terribly dirty. I think that was more honest.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like if there was a politician that was corrupt, like we were going to put his head on a fucking pike. We weren't going to put up with it.
Right.
In your neighborhood, you looked out for each other. Like fucking, you formed of an impromptu gang to make sure everybody's backs were taken care of. We used to have block parties. I can't imagine.
I know, right?
This modern generation having a block party where everyone's cooking food and coming out, and everyone's blasting music and dancing.
Yeah. That's so funny, because I'm doing this Thurston Moore, you know, the guitar player from Sonic Youth.
Yeah, absolutely. Love Sonic Youth.
Yeah, they're amazing. His autobiography, I'm almost done with it. And he talks a lot about moving to New York when he was a kid, and just the whole like downtown scene where there was these super cheap rents, and everything was super shitty, but it was like, if you just weren't stupid, you wouldn't get, if you don't walk, you know where not to go at what times so you don't get killed. And it's like, just like you're saying, people looking out for each other, and these super affordable lofts. Yeah. Because nobody wanted to live there. So it's like you could find places to live, you could find weird little jobs. And it was like, he's kind of expressing the same sentiment as you. Like, it's kind of like.
Yeah, I can talk about that forever, because that's how Soho started. Mm-hmm. When I was a kid, Soho was a demilitarized zone. It was one of those places people ran away to when they were coming from Kansas and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Cars on blocks and gun shells on the sidewalk and crack vials. Well, crack wasn't until the 80s, but it was nasty. And that's when artists started to occupy lofts, like you see in the movies and shit like that. And that was because it was either they were squatting or it was super cheap. Or they might have been running electricity off the bases of the fucking light lamps outside and stuff like that. Now that's some of the most expensive real estate on the fucking planet. Yep. So much so that every year Forbes magazine publishes a list of cities where they watch where artist communities migrate to. And then they publish where those cities are, so that real estate assholes can go in there and start buying it out, so that they can get on the ground floor of the next Soho. Yep. So that drives me nuts, that you know how valuable art can be, and what a movement artists can produce, but you won't fucking let us profit off of it.
Yeah. It's like the same old thing.
Exploit us.
Yeah, artists being exploited, and it's just the same old story everywhere you go.
Drives me fucking nuts.
Yeah, it's so wrong.
And also, like that's why I'm not that discouraged for not being near New York at this point. There's so little left of that. It's all been gutted and cleaned up and gentrified and greenified.
And so expensive.
These billionaire billions.
Yeah, it's
insanely expensive. But expensive to the point where, like, our founding fathers revolted for far less than this. And it's like, where's that sort of fucking animosity? Like, you shouldn't have to pay $4,000 for a studio apartment. Yeah. Like, that's just extortion robbery.
Yeah. Like, it's one of the things that's pushing everything to the limit. I mean, eventually nobody will be able to afford to live anywhere, and it's not, Anyway, I don't want to get into that. Anyway, I want to get into. I'm curious how you started your tattooing career, and how long have you tattooed for?
I didn't start till 2000. What happened was the flyers, the We Paste flyers, and all the screen printing led me to freelancing for Jeff Wood. Okay. And he brought me to Myrtle Beach, where we built this 100,000 square foot screen print facility.
No way.
And then I met a girl, and that girl I ended up surprising. We eloped on a motorcycle, and she was going to the 40th rated school in the country. And one of the reasons we eloped, I was like, well, do you want a big wedding or do you want an education? Because we can't afford both. So she chose education.
Smart.
So I moved back to New York City, and I was doing a lot of digital stuff. I was doing pre-press and production. A lot of stories about that, because we were doing weird shit, like we were printing the sets for Saturday Night Live, which is kind of boring because it's just printing. But that was in the mid to late 90s. So it's like, that was actually hard, because the Mac only had a 110 processor and a maxed out at 500 megs RAM. That was the max. So if you're trying to print something that's 30 feet long, like you're going to just be scrolling a postscript for hours before you even start the printing. So, and of course, because it's Saturday Night Live, it wouldn't come until Thursday night, and they filmed on Friday. So we had to get it done in 12 hours.
Wow.
So there's a lot of fun stories actually about all the stupid digital stuff, but I was good at it, and it paid 3 times the amount of what it would be to be creative or an illustrator. So all my other friends were blowing up. They were going from flyers to concert posters. And I've done some concert posters. I sent you
you've done a ton of you've done a ton of them. They're awesome. Amazing.
Which is weird because that also was just a sideline thing. I didn't want to do them because I wanted to be a poster artist. I wanted to do it because I wanted the music to continue, and I loved it, and I wanted to be Rick Griffin, Griffin was one of the very early heroes. And when Jeff freelanced me some surfwear, I was like, oh my God, this is just like Rick. And that's all I really cared about. I mean, the checks were nice too, but like just getting to be Rick Griffin was even better. So same thing with the concert posters. That was always a side gig for me, whereas a lot of people were doing it full time. But that included Jeff and all the people that had been under me when I was the art director. And I was like, man, they're fucking blowing up. And I'm here in corporate hell. But I didn't care because I was madly in love with this woman. And it was all for her. All for you, Damien. So my 30th birthday rolls around, and she gives me a present. Now, meanwhile, I didn't even have a tattoo at this point. Not a bit of ink because I was always poor. Also living in Florida. Yeesh. Florida was so bad. And the tattoos were so bad. Like in late 80s, early 90s, they were not good compared to what a lot of the other big cities around the world were doing. And I wouldn't have wanted a Florida tattoo. I mean, I probably would have because I was crazy, but it would have been bad. It wouldn't have been good. So what is it? It's tattoo equipment. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how do you even know how to get this shit? Like, it was still illegal in New York City at that point.
Oh, wow.
It was still illegal in a number of states at that point. And this was my little virginal student girl, like how do you even know how to get this fucking shit? And I was scared of it. I know a lot of people go right to Amazon and buy all their fucking shit now, and they're working out of their kitchen. I was scared to death that I could actually hurt someone, give them permanent nerve damage, give them a disease that's not curable. But one of the people that me and Jeff had under us used to be an outlaw tattoo artist in South Carolina because it's illegal there, or it was. So, and we taught him the Macintosh, and he flipped, and then he became a poster artist.
Oh, wow.
So I called up Mikey. I was like, man, Shay bought me tattoo equipment. What the fuck do I do? And he's like, well, there's only one answer to that. We're going to have a party. So he booked a venue in South Carolina. We had 9 bands, all rockabilly and garage punk. We had a car show out in the parking lot, all pre-62 customs.
Wow.
We printed up a concert poster for that event that's in the Art of Modern Rock book, which is amazing because that's my tattoo anniversary, enshrined for posterity there. And when everyone was good and wasted on whatever they were doing, Mikey started to teach me how to tattoo with that as a backdrop.
Wow.
So that's how I started, which I don't recommend anybody else start that way, but already an established concert poster artist, punk rock, motorcycling, nut job from New York. Yeah, that works.
There's a lot of weird how I started tattooing stories. They're just like, then they all say, I wouldn't recommend this way, but this is how I learned. And it's like,
well, that's because back then there wasn't an internet. You couldn't go and watch fucking YouTube videos on fucking gray shade portraiture or fucking this or that, the other fucking thing. You weren't ordering, you couldn't get equipment. Like if you went into the average shop and asked for equipment, they'd be like, let me see your hand. And then they would bring out a ball peen hammer and they break every knuckle in your fucking hand. I'm not kidding. It used to be like that. A lot of people think, oh, you're just fucking tough guying it. No. Like fucking when it was illegal in New York City for 39 years.
That's so
and it was like
crazy.
During those times, people were closely guarding it because they didn't want to fucking get, arrested for Christ's sakes. But that also made a great way to try to fucking separate the boys from the men as far as like, do you really want this? Like the whole Fight Club sort of mentality.
Yeah.
Like, are you going to stand outside on that porch for 3 days while Ed Norton comes out and threatens to beat you with a shovel?
Right.
Is it worth it for you? Like, do you want to sacrifice? Are you going to actually go through the effort? So I very quickly realized that tattooing was not a hobby or a side thing, that you're either all in or you're out.
That's why I didn't get into tattooing. Like, I had people really like pushing me to tattoo, and people gave me all the equipment and everything, and I did a couple here and there at conventions, like little dumb little faces and stuff on people just to see how difficult it was. And then I really felt like I'm already so happy painting. You know, the only reason I'd be doing this would be for the money, and that doesn't seem like a good enough reason. That wouldn't be. That's not why I paint. It's like I try and figure out a way to make money from my paintings because I love to paint, and I feel like I already have my love, sort of. And it's like it would just be, you know, it wouldn't be like, I don't know. It just felt weird, like all these great tattoo artists that are just like all into it, totally committed, and then me just coming in being like, yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't know. It's just, it wasn't enough.
I wasn't like that until some of my peers came up. Like, because when I grew up as a kid, tattoos were still old school. They were mostly the sailor traditional and stuff, or biker tattoos and stuff. But then people like Guy Atkinson, Paul Booth and stuff like that, they started knocking the ball out of the park. They fucking raise that fucking bar. Like, you can do this on skin and get it to heal, and it still looks like this. And it got to the point where you could do as much on the human body as you could on canvas. I mean, with caveats, of course. But,
yeah, definitely.
And that's when I was like, wow, now this is fucking awesome. So it's like I got really hooked on it. So I made the decision, obviously. I sought out the best apprenticeship that I could, went through all of that, and started on a 25-year journey of fucking tattooing.
Wow.
And it sucks that it's carried me for so long, and then it got swept out against all my will and all my efforts because of a venture capitalist this year. So that's kind of heartbreaking. One of the old school masters was Lyle Tuttle, and Lyle used to say, take care of tattooing, and tattooing will take care of you. And I've always been like that. I've never cared about the money. I've never cared about price points. I've never cared about that. I've only cared about the art, getting better, treating my clients with the respect that I learned in Japan, and things like that. And it's always worked out that way until very recently. I mean, that's another very long conversation, because the way the tattoo industry has gotten gobbled up and corporatized and monetized and influencerized and all the rest of that fucking shit, I feel is very anti-tattooing. It's very anti the spirit of tattooing. It's trying to make corporate late-stage capitalism with an art form that's 40,000 years old, an art form we were doing when saber-toothed tigers were still hunting us. And those two things just don't meet. If art and commerce ever meet, you know, because I keep thinking about that, about the great masters. You guys have talked about this many times on the cast with how all the patrons lifted up artists that we just wouldn't have today. I think about that now because I'm writing, and so many great writers wouldn't have been here today if they didn't have these angel patrons coming in from out of nowhere and just financing them or doing this. Henry Miller, his entire stay in Paris where he wrote the Tropic books, was financed by Anais Nin and her sugar daddy money. James Joyce would have never published Ulysses if he didn't have rich lesbians who were in lavender weddings with gay sons of tycoons and barons, who just said, yeah, we'll publish your book that's getting burned in other countries.
Where are all the cool rich people now?
That's what I'm saying.
It's like the rich people now, they're fucking assholes. They're not the kind of people that are patrons of the arts.
That's what I'm
It's
joking.
like they're buying...
Where's my Anais Nin?
Yeah.
Where's my rich lesbians?
They're buying that shitty blue chip stuff that nobody understands and nobody really likes. It's for an investment or for some kind of money laundering thing. It's like, where are these?
It goes back to the creativity, and not just creative to make art, but like creative, like how do you live your life and everything else that progresses us forward as human beings. Like these guys have no idea, so they keep defaulting back to things that they're sure will work or are safe. You know, so,
Yeah.
like so much of Hollywood sucks because they play it so safe and no one wants to take any chances,
Yeah.
or no one's got a new idea, or nobody knows how to tackle this, or no one knows how to address this problem. You know, it's almost like people have forgotten how to people. I keep seeing that
Yeah.
over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get on that fucking level where you have the type of billions that are going to affect not just you, but a lot of people, well, you're just driving yourself straight into this deep fucking pit. And I don't
Right.
know how that's going to play out.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
don't
also
know.
another reason why the arts are important. It's not just about pretty pictures. It's about
Well,
all.
yeah, totally, man. And it's like, it's funny because for you, for me, for all of my artist friends, our patrons are like our people on Patreon that are paying $5 a month, or people that are commissioning work or buying work that we sell. And so it's like, they're not these super rich people that it's like, oh, I'm going to support this artist. They're people that like, they're economically probably pretty close to where we are, you know, just kind of like working class people that love art and want to support the artists. And it's like, it's amazing that they would do that with their money when they don't have a ton of money to throw around. So it kind of is even more impressive.
Egregious.
Yeah. Egregious that these super rich guys won't do it, and we have to rely on people that
It's weird because everyone wants to consume art. They love art of all types, but they don't like people. They don't like artists. They don't like supporting the arts. Like the value of supporting the art to eventually get art out of doing that is lost to them. Like this is why so many people love to steal art, especially if it's easy to fucking do. They'll steal art left and right and leave the artist in a lurch. And I know that's an old thing. I mean, Michelangelo got fucked over repeatedly in his fucking career because people are just stealing from him and stuff like that. It's a tale as old as time, but man, I've dealt with it so much in my own life. I can tell you horror stories about how many times we were gypped out of royalties, or we had best-selling lines of this and we didn't see a dime of it. And just, you know, both me and Jeff should be able to retire at this point. And
right.
Nope. Still trying to reinvent ourselves and like roll up the sleeves and get back into the fight again.
Yeah, I know. You just can't quit. That's all there is to it. You just can't quit. It's
not
an option.
It'd be like not painting, which actually is how writing started. I don't know if we're jump over the whole tattooing thing and go into that.
Well, tell me what's up with your writing?
It was about 2014, and it was like all of a sudden everyone got really ugly. Like super ugly. And that's weird because I was like still a year before Orange Honey Boo Boo would announce that he was going to throw in. And it's weird because like tattooing, not to get all hippie or spiritual about it, but you are touching people. You're laying hands on them, and I don't care. We are all connected. I mean, I don't care what you say. Like whether it's
me, you've heard the podcast enough to know I'm into all this shit.
I'm explaining for everybody else who thinks that's a flaky thing to think. But whether it's scientific, because we do actually produce a bioelectrical field, or whether it's spiritual and it's karmic or whatever you want to put a word to it, when you're touching somebody for that length of time, you are going to take some of them home with you, whether you want to or not. And if they're great people and they're really vibing on what's happening, and you know, tattooing can be very transformative and possibly fucking important, which is why, again, why we've been doing it 10 times longer than we've learned how to write words and languages. Then that's great. But when it's not, when you're doing a quarter sleeve on somebody's arm and they're staring you point blank in the face this close and screaming at you about how racism was good for black people.
No.
And you're not allowed to pull out your Benchmade and slice their throat open for saying that, which is the appropriate response. You go home and you don't want to fucking paint, you know? When some kid comes in and he's giggling and you're like, hey, bud, what's funny? I'm a funny guy. Why don't you share with the class? We'll all have a good laugh. And he's like, you know the money I'm paying with you tonight? That's my child support money. We're really getting over on that bitch, aren't we? And again, you are not allowed to slit his throat because you will go to jail. Again, you're not going home and channeling the universe through your paintbrush, you know? So it's like at one point I tapped out. I'm like, I feel so despondent. I don't got it anymore. But you can't not paint, which is where we're going with this. When you were saying, you know, that, like you have to get back up and paint. Of course you have to paint. But when you stop painting, it's funny because that's when writing started to germinate. Like all of a sudden, I was sitting there one afternoon and all these fucking horror stories popped into my head. And I never thought about writing long form fanzines and columns and interviews and things like that. Sure. But fucking stories and novels and then horror, I was like, oh, I can't write horror. All those twists and the fucking subtext and the fucking gag endings. Like, I'm not that complicated, right? But I was obsessed with it. Like, I would not stop. So you can't not do it. So I was doing that instead. And that was cool because that was really exploratory about how much it was like painting. For example, like in writing, you do have happy accidents. I didn't think they were happy accidents.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't have to preach to you about those where like you might be gone for an hour and you come back and you're like, who did this painting?
Right.
And I get to take credit for this. Like, I don't know if I could reproduce it if I had to. Where did this come from? And that's one of the delights of doing it. And I found myself, that would happen on the fucking page too. And I was like, get the fuck out of here. Because you think it'd be so linear and the grammar would constrain you so much. And I was like, no, you can actually use these phrases the same way you do with a brush. And I'm just like, totally, man, there's a lot of parallels here. And this is badass.
I've always wanted to be a writer ever since I was a kid. Because I'm like, where I used to be when I had time, I used to read a lot. Like when I was a kid, I read a ton of Stephen King and, of course, Clive Barker and the old English ghost stories, and I was all about books. And I don't feel like I'm very good at writing, though. I remember at one point I did write a short story that I was like, oh, this is pretty good. I could tell as like a teenager, and that was it. And it's like, I still think, man, I would love to just start writing and see what happens and just practice.
Well, I don't want to encourage you because, again, well, I mean, it's another long, lonely thing that you're going to be doing, sitting on your ass by yourself.
That's what I do.
And like, I need that with this body, like I need a hole in the head. And because everyone in the world is doing it and publishing is as fucked up as every other world at this point. They're all owned by horrible, terrible people who are war profiteers. I know so many amazing creative people who are languishing, not getting anything published, but they'll give Kyle Rittenhouse $1 million contract for his fucking book. Like he's got some contributions to the world of art. Shut the fuck up, stupid child murderer. On the other hand, you're Chet Czar, and you've got a lifetime of experience. Like when you wrote those short stories, you were still young. And I guarantee your voice has changed massively since then. So it might be a great option. I wouldn't rule it out. I'm just saying
I would love to try.
It's not going to be fun in the respect like you're not going to get that fucking first book out like everyone thinks they're going to get. It's going to be as much work as everything else.
It would be fun in the way that learning to paint was fun. It's hard and difficult, but it's fun too because it's so challenging.
I always love a thing that's bigger than me. I never take credit. I mean, I always beat the shit out of myself anyway, so I wouldn't take credit for it even if I earned it. But like the fanzine did that. Like we didn't have a lot of money. Sometimes we couldn't afford more than 500 copies of the fanzine, but someone would find a single copy and take it to their dad and print off another 2,000. And then we'd be getting letters from all over the world. Someone would put a whole pile of them in their backpack and take it backpacking across Europe. And we get fucking letters from the other side of the planet, like places we had no idea it was going to go. And I love that. I love it when you throw a stone and the ripples just keep going and going and going. And writing is very much like that. Like I didn't realize, and I've listened to a lot of your podcasts where you guys are talking about consciousness and reality and our perception. And that gets scary when you write because sometimes your characters get very sentient. They take on a life of your own. You might have a stack of notes sitting next to you and outlines and plots and research that you did. And then all of a sudden one day, those little names that you just clunked out on your fucking keyboard wake up. And they kick you out of bed at 3 a.m. and it's like, hey, buddy boy, Mr. Writer guy, you see this fucking plot? And they tear it up on you and they club you over the head and they throw you in the back of the car. And it's like, guess what? We're going for a little ride now. This is where the story is going. And you're like, this is a little too animated. Like, this is a little too interactive. Like, I'm seriously not in control of a lot of this. Like, and I love that though. I love not being in control when I was the one that started this. You know, it's like one of those crazy mysteries of the creative process.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, it's hard to explain because you can't put that into a production. You can't put that and wrap it and sell it and package it. But if you're a true creative, that's where it fucking happens, and that's where the magic happens, and it's awesome. So
yeah, how much have you written?
Well, I actually pulled out some stacks of the stuff that I've got here. I've got 11 anthologies. These aren't all my stories. There's only
okay.
It's only one short story per anthology.
Okay.
But there's 11 of them now.
Yeah.
I've written 6 novels and 13 novellas that haven't seen the light of day.
Okay.
We could also do another podcast about that because they're all professionally edited. You pay for editing in this day and age. So I've spent a lot of money on, and in this last couple of years, money I don't have on writing. I've been taught by some really cool writers. I've taken their classes. I actually went on a cruise one time where we were all locked down with fucking an entire crew of very famous writers. That was awesome. And again, because I'm starting late, yeah, it sucks because like I'm starting late, but I'm also bringing all that fucking, 4 decades of fucking knowledge to the table too.
You having gone through the life you've had have to write. You know what I mean? It's like you are like, one of the 1%. The other way, it's like as far as like surviving hell, it's like, it sounds like you've survived. Most people don't, even people that suffer abuse don't get it that bad. So it seems like, man, if you don't somehow turn that into express it somehow through writing, it's kind of a missed opportunity. I don't know if that's kind of a weird way to say it, but you know what I'm saying? That kind of experience.
I totally feel you. And that's where a lot of it comes from. Like,
you got to write your life story too. I don't know if you've ever thought, if you've done that or.
I wrote, I was shocked. I hate the word genre, and I hate all of this fucking, what everyone tries to do with writing, like once you get into it, when they try to turn it into a job. And the people who concentrate on things like fucking these micro genres, I have a feeling they're not doing a lot of writing because you got a lot of time to worry about this stupid fucking shit, the categorizations. Like, fuck that shit. Just put it out there. George Martin says that. He's like, it's fiction or nonfiction.
Right.
Good or bad, How about good or bad and leave the rest to the fucking salespeople?
Yeah, exactly. Your life story, your autobiography.
So I found a genre that I didn't know was a genre. It's called magical realism. And that's what Salman Rushdie writes is magical realism. And like, I'd never read Salman Rushdie because I thought he was writing about Islam and religion and the fire.
I remember the Satanic Verses.
God. Right. That was the one that he got. I mean, recently he got stabbed in the fucking eyeball.
I know.
Like 35 years later or something after he dodged all those bullets. So who's going to read that? Because that sounds like a bad time, right? But here's the ironic part is like, he didn't write a religious book. He wrote an adult fairy tale. And fucking Satanic Verses is awesome. And most of Salman's writing is awesome. I fell into it because I'd keep seeing interviews with him. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I kind of like this guy. He's funny. He's definitely intelligent. He knows what he's fucking talking about. I was like, I wonder what his voice sounds like. That's what they call it when you're on the page, your voice. And so I rolled up my big boy pants and I got Satanic Verses. And I was like, within the first 5 minutes, here's the plot is 2 Bollywood actors. They're very famous for playing gods and fanciful characters and fantasy characters. And they're just actors. And they're flying across the Atlantic and their plane explodes. And as they're free falling to their death from 30,000 feet in the air, one of them sprouts wings because he used to play the Archangel Michael and flies the other guy to the ground. I'm like, this is how the book starts?
Yeah.
This is fucking, they wanted to kill you for this?
Yeah,
they declared a jihad against you or whatever they call it?
Kind of amazing. Yeah.
Like, oh my, what? So it's like, then I was like, oh shit, could I write magical realism? So my magical realism story is going back to, it's about a teenage boy growing up in a theater who gets beaten for painting sets.
Okay.
But in this story, what happens is one night his drunken, stoned stepfather shows up with murderous intent, threatening his life. And as he's cowering and fleeing from this oncoming beating, he trips and he falls right through the flat that he just painted into an alternate world that lives right behind the paintings.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
that's my magical realism book that has not sold yet. So
that sounds really cool.
yeah,
Have you?
I am working on things like that where it's like a lot of, if it's not me directly, it's definitely people that I've known or people that I've cared about or people that I dealt with. Like they all end up getting reconstructed into characters into these books,
Oh,
which I
that's
feel helps ground it too.
yeah.
Although not always though. That's one of the harder parts. Like I had another book edited. That book is called The Cult of Frida, about a girl who is trying to get Frida Kahlo canonized as a saint, and she's doing this by doing graffiti all over Miami about Frida, and
That's a great idea.
and miracles seem to follow her around, although they're not real miracles. They're just like fucking, again, just random acts of kindness type of things. She's definitely got the verve going on. So the bad girl that she encounters, where the conflict comes in, I based on a real human. And I put a lot of the things that had happened to us during the clean days when we got clean off of drogas in there, not because I wanted to write about it, but to ground it, because everything else was such a fanciful idea. And those were the parts that editor that I paid a lot of money for had a problem with. She's like, oh, that would never have fucking happened. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, that happened to me.
Right.
If I had video cameras back then, like I could show you the tape, like fucking, like, yeah, it stretches the limits of possibility too far. And I'm like, yeah, but it happened. Like, are you telling me that my life was too fanciful?
Yeah,
like,
right.
No,
Yeah.
Like, how the hell do I take that as an edit? I got to edit my life now.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Have you read The Talisman?
Yeah, by King, sure.
Yeah, Stephen King.
Absolutely,
and Peter Straub. That sounds like
I love King. I feel guilty because I blew off his boy. I blew off Joe for a long time. I figured Joe is just riding Daddy's coattails.
Yeah, I haven't read any of his stuff either.
I finally read him, and like Joe is younger, hungrier, and maybe a little smarter than Stephen. And I'm like, motherfucker.
Wow.
So if I ever get to meet Joe, like the first thing I'm going to do is apologize to him. But it's nice because now I have Joe books to read. So
that's cool.
And for everybody out there who hasn't seen it, like if you're a Joe or a Steven fan, there's a video of them for about an hour on stage together. And that was heartbreaking to me. They were both on the bestseller list at the exact same time as that they were on stage. And wow. I'm like, man, you're Stephen King's son. They're talking stories about both being in Creepshow together. Mm-hmm. And Joe is the kid in Creepshow who gets smacked by the sheriff. And they tell a really funny story about that because Tom Savini did a makeup effect, so the handprint was on Joe's face. And in the middle of the night, Steve takes him out for a milkshake to shut him up because they've been on set for 14 hours and he's being a crotchety 10-year-old. And he pulls up to the drive-thru of a McDonald's and he's like, yeah, give the kid a chocolate shake. And everyone in the McDonald's drive-thru window is like giving him like one of these. And he's like, what? And he looks over and there's Joe with the handprint on it. And I was like in love with this lecture they were giving. I'm like, can you imagine growing up hanging, like George Romero cast you in his movie because he liked you?
I know.
You know, you're a 10-year-old boy hanging out. I was like, let's put the kid in the movie. Like, your dad is Stephen fucking King.
Yeah, like, he won the
holy shit! Like lottery. The whole time, it was like it wasn't just cool on a fan level or as a writer level. It was cool on a little boy level. Like the little boy inside me was like, fuck, I want a Stephen King dad. That'd be fun. And I should have had that too. Like both my parents loved horror. Like
really?
Yeah, my mom was only 16. My dad was 24-year-old car thief, and they lived for fucking horror. Like I grew up reading all my mom's paperbacks before I should have touched them at ever. Like The Omen and The Shining and all of Carrie and The Secret of O. Like all these fucking books that I would be looking through. To be honest, I'd be looking for swear words.
Right.
And those would be the good scenes, of course. That's how I learned about anal sex from The Omen too, because he was fucking like a jackal, and I was like in kindergarten or first grade, and I was like, grown-ups do this? Why? But that drives me crazy. That drives me nuts to think we had so much in common as a family. Like, why the hell were we never together? Like, it makes sense to me.
Yeah.
To this day. Still bothers me. I don't know if they know that I write. Like, I have no idea if they know I tattoo. I don't know if they know I did concert posters. I really don't. And I don't know what they would have thought about any of that, considering how hard they tried to make that not happen.
Right.
Who knows? It's one of those things that drive me nuts.
Are you focusing more on writing nowadays? Is that kind of like your thing at this point, or is it like a side? Oh, okay.
Again, fast forwarding through all the cool tattoo stories, we opened up our first shop. It was funny because we opened up the first shop after I apprenticed. We opened up on fucking 9/11.
Oh my God.
We were only 9 miles away from the George Washington Bridge. And that was day one for us. And it was one of the worst days of my life because I was the only artist who stayed at that location. The world famous tattoo artist who apprenticed me took the other 6 artists out the door. So it was me and a non-tattooing businessman who owned that shop.
Oh my God. Wow.
And I tattooed for 12 hours. And that bothered me because there was no client loyalty at all. All they cared about was getting tattooed. They didn't care that they lost the guy who had a wall of 200 trophies had left. They were happy to get tattooed by me with 1 year in. But they also were happy to get tattooed on 9/11.
Wow. Yeah.
They didn't care that at the time we were thinking 20,000 people were dead floating in the Hudson River. And these people are just like, I like this design, but could you change the color? My girlfriend says I should get I wanted to get my boyfriend's name. My girlfriend says not to do that. What do you think? And I'm like, what do I think? Like, it's 1:00 in the afternoon. We don't know if the attacks have stopped yet. I think you should fucking give a fuck about someone other than yourself for 2 seconds. Like, oh my God.
Crazy.
So I did that for 12 hours because I needed the fucking money and I wasn't going to not do it. And also, what was I going to do? Go home and cower? I couldn't get across to the river. They shut down the city, so I couldn't go volunteer. I couldn't, I was trained in first aid and CPR, but I couldn't get over there. There was nothing else you could have done. Maybe sat on the other side of the Hudson and watched the smoke and cried and lit candles.
Mm-hmm.
But that was horrible. So we left that shop 3 years to the day on 9/11. And then me and my business partner moved down. We opened up a shop in Savannah. So the first Sepulchre was in Savannah for 5 years. Then we moved home to New Jersey. We were there for 15 years. And we were there up until this year when a venture capitalist came in and bought out the entire block and vacated our property. It was just like, get the fuck out. So I lost everything that I've worked for that entire amount of fucking time. So when you ask me if I'm writing or concentrating on writing, it's like actually crashing out here at Jeff's. Yeah, I did bang out an entire fucking novel that I have right out for my beta readers to critique and to try to get opinions and stuff like that. So that'll be novel 6. The other novels haven't sold, so it's like I could and should go back into those and try to get them back out. It's stupid because I want them agented. Agented? Is that a word? Agented? I want an agent attached to them.
Yeah. I think you have to have an agent to get stuff
if you want to be published by a real publisher, which of course they're so monopolized. It's like a big giant wad of good bubble gum all stuck together. It's 27 million companies. So it's all one giant media controlled thing. But unlike I've never gone on a tattoo television show because of my old punk rock roots. Like I would never sell out. Not for the sake of selling out, but because these are terrible people. You're going to be making the worst people in the world more money than you will ever put in your pocket for this shit. Everyone knows from the music scene, like fucking your contract is going to only be designed to fuck you. And enrich them. And bands have been destroyed because of their stupid corporate contracts. And we've been singing about that since the 90s. So for me, it was the same thing with tattooing and cut my fingers off before going on a tattoo television show. Unless for some reason those guys were smart enough to actually combine and form their own company. Like if they did like what Pat Robertson did with CNN, because unfortunately he got his money from blood diamonds. So that's bad. But that's why he could say all the homophobic, racist shit on his fucking in the name of Jesus shit, because there was no one to censor him because he owned the goddamn company. So it's like if a tattoo crew owned that company, then by all means. But you're going to let fucking the same people who own MTV and Comcast fucking run your life? Fuck that shit. But when it's just me, That's just me selling my ass. Like, I'm not taking anyone down with me. So I want to do it just to prove I can do it. I want to have like that Random House Penguin,
Mm-hmm.
Macmillan, Del Rey, whatever the fuck label it is. I want to see that label there just once,
Yeah.
and then see how it goes from there. Um, Self-publishing, I encourage, if there are writers listening, absolutely do publishing. That's about as DIY as you can get, and you will
Yeah.
probably get better profit margins, and all the rights will be retained by you and everything else like that. The problem with self-publishing is a full-time endeavor all by itself.
Yeah.
Just endless
Distribution and all
promotions.
that. Yeah.
You have to be good at selling, which I'm terrible at selling. I feel like it's too much like lying. It's a
Yeah.
different skill set. It is. It's a different skill set from, and I'm speaking from experience. I'm not saying that as a jerk. I can't tell you how many times I've worked in corporations where it was the sales department that gutted the entire corporation because they only cared about themselves.
Right.
And that's also because they are not making the thing. They're only getting paid to push the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So they don't have any involvement in it. They're not putting their souls out there fucking on the market
Yeah.
for judgment. So salespeople, I mean, if you could be both, or, I mean, how many artists do we know where it's like it's their wife who is the amazing salesperson, or
Right.
vice versa? There's always that famous woman behind the man story when you get to some of the very successful people that know how to market themselves, where they can concentrate on art and they can concentrate on the world. Two very different things, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Something that I've not even come close to mastering.
Most artists, I mean, some of the most talented artists I know are like not super successful because they haven't mastered that marketing promotion thing, and they don't have
Or just don't value it. I always keep thinking about like Rick Griffin, my old hero. Like when you read his books that they wrote about him, I mean, how many stories are there where like he did like the Steal Your Face for the Grateful Dead for like a bag of weed while he was living in the back of a van?
Yeah.
Or, someone said, "Oh, I love that piece of artwork. When I get enough money, I'm going to buy that shit off you, so don't lose it." And then the next day they come home and it's taped to their front door because that's just the way Rick was. And like, I always loved that. I always wanted to be like that. Like, and I've always tried to be as much as I can. I've always tried to just fucking give, because that's what that's about. It's not about fucking what you're going to hoard and collect and build me up. It's about you and you and you, and thank you for loving this, and you that touched you. And writing has been very much like that too. Like, I'm shocked at like what people see on the page.
Yeah.
Much more so than artwork. Like, whereas my artwork is pretty definitive. You look at my Social Distortion poster of a chick shooting up on a bed in a hotel, you know where that's at, But I've put out some of the weirdest stories and had people coming back and like, "Oh man, I was crying my eyes out at the end." And I'm like, "What? That was a horror comedy." Like, what? Yeah, but I felt so bad at the end. Oh, why did you treat that guy like that? I was like, "Are you kidding?" So, oh my God, it ranges so greatly. And again, that's the thing of, yeah, it's not about me, man. Yeah, I wrote it, but it really isn't about me. Like, now this person has had an experience that I couldn't have foresawn at all. And yet there it is, and that's also been really, really encouraging. I'm hoping that it's just a matter of right place, right time type of shit.
Yeah. Well, you got to keep doing it and keep pushing, and it'll happen.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird because like I've got the options of, I mean, I'm of course looking for another shop. I mean, it's weird to be trying to job hunt and then work for people after you've been an owner for 20 years.
Yeah.
Or been a celebrity judge at tattoo conventions across the world or something like that. I wasn't expecting that at the age of 57 to go, with my portfolio and my resume in my hand.
You shouldn't need a portfolio or resume. They know who you are, though.
You'd be surprised. Right? A lot. I mean, but it's not just me. Like, a lot of these kids don't know who Sailor Jerry was, or Paul Rogers, or any of the old.
Yeah, I guess you're dealing with the whole younger generation that doesn't know.
I mean,
don't care.
Here's another beef about that. Like, there's an entire segment that has grown up in the tattoo industry where people will openly brag that they never learned how to tattoo, that it's only about being an influencer, and that drives me fucking
Oh man.
Like if you want to be an influencer, I mean, I also hate that because again, most influencers aren't bringing anything to the table except maybe looks or fucking or like, all these stupid like these negative influencers, like these stupid hate mongers and shit, the Johnny Somalis and the like I'm an asshole for a living. Like,
Yeah.
oh shit, you
Crazy.
shouldn't exist. You should be in a wheelchair, man. Like you should be missing some fucking teeth. Like you shouldn't be a millionaire. You should be making more money than I ever will in my life by like working my fingers to the bones.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't definitely combine that with tattooing. Like, holy shit. Like, you want to be an influencer? Sure. Be an influencer by cars or clothes or anything else. Like, fucking, but not tattooing. Tattooing is too grounded and too rooted for you to fucking just wipe your anal glands all over our rug. It's just not good.
Okay, that's the end of part 1, and I'll see you next week for part 2. Thanks for watching, listening, and see you next time.